Hi, this is Miss Kamei. I have a message I want to share with you guys. I just finished a conference call with Marvin James, who will be on season 2 of the Miss Kamei show. And Marvin James wrote a book, and the title of the book is The Secret to Marriage. And he has a chapter in his book that stood out to me, and it's a message that I feel that every one of us needs to hear. And so I want to read this chapter. It is a little long. It's somewhat short, but it is a little long, just to forewarn you. But the message is very significant. And as I read this chapter to you, I want you to replace your name with Marvin's name. And I really want you to think about the message and think about what you're saying to yourself. I hope that this message blesses you and makes a difference for you and really impacts your life going forward today. The title of this chapter is called 6-Year-Old Marvin. This will be our last exit before we arrive at our destination called Now. There was so much more that I could have included, tips, suggestions, and even more details of my journey. But it is my desire that you are able to take away at least one aspect of this book to provoke thought, a personal assessment, reasoning marinated in logic, and hope anchored to love. When I speak of love, I'm not referring to the you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back love. I'm talking more along the lines of love defined as suffering long and is kind, does not envy, does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Why? Because love never fails. At this point, I want to leave my general audience and speak to the person who has been married to me from the beginning. Through my rising and my falls, he has been there, having no choice in the matter but to follow. He was there before I had a wife, career, felony addiction, and even a mother. He was there during every crime, every lie, every accolade. He was there for every rejection, every missed meal, missed hug. He was there for every broken promise, every fit of rage, times of confusion, every fear, and every insecure moment. I'm speaking of the 6-year-old Marvin. As the adult Marvin engages in a conversation with the 6-year-old Marvin, I challenge you, the reader, to listen with your eyes and process through your heart as I believe my emotions through the inks on these pages. To the 6-year-old Marvin, I want to start by saying that I'm proud of you. You were an overcomer, a mighty warrior in the making. No one had deemed it necessary to apologize to you for the chaos that you were thrown into. I wasn't there for you like you have been there for me, and that's because you were me in the making. You deserve an apology, and since one never came, I'll give you one. I'm sorry that you were rejected, left to feel unloved and inadequate. Your parents didn't just abandon you, they abandoned us. I'm sorry for not being able to speak up for you and say stop when that grown lady warped your perception of sex. I wish I was there to advocate your need for at least one of your biological parents to stick around and express their love for you. Things would have been different if I was there to tell them to stop using your mother's addiction as a disciplining tool against you, injecting hate and creating a monster image of her because she didn't know. 6-year-old Marvin, it would have been on if I could have told those piss-poor examples of men to get the hell away from you and grow up. It wasn't your fault that people expected you to show a higher level of appreciation for them, providing the basic necessities that kids around you were receiving. They expected for you to have the rationality of an adult, understanding their acts of generosity by the constant reminders that your mother didn't want you. It was all an act of cowardice, grown men punching a little kid in the chest and daring you to cry as if you would crack a wider smile with every blow. Little Marvin, I know it was crazy to have been shuffled from home to home as if you were a produce item instead of a person, not knowing where to unpack your clothes or for how long. All the while, I could see the anger and hostility building in you as you watched the people around you turn a blind eye and a deaf ear. Now that I have apologized for what has happened to you, little Marvin, I hope you understand it wasn't your fault. It is true that you were dealt some bad cards, but guess what? You made it. Since I'm the biggest benefactor from you making it to you, I say thank you, little Marvin. I need for you to understand that I will be eternally grateful for your resiliency. It's because of you that I write the words I do now. I've always loved you and admired your ability to take a serious situation and turn it into comedy. The fuel that your anger provided burned past the superficial accolades of mere spectators who clapped for what I have accomplished and sneered at my humanity. I don't want you to take this wrong, but I want to communicate accurately. This is in no way a diplomatic method of me rejecting you or abandoning you or pushing you out of my life. Little Marvin, I simply give you permission to go and play. What has happened to you is considered yesterday, but I'm here today. Little Marvin, you don't have to be afraid or wonder if I'll be here when you return. No one is going to hurt you. I'm here. I'll be here when you return. I'm here to protect you. There is no need for you to arm yourself with anger or wrap yourself with the coat of insecurity. The feelings of not belonging has hindered us from allowing positive people into our life and lured me to place heavy decisions on your lap. And that wasn't cool. I wanted you to feel something you've always needed, but for various reasons, it has evaded you. I need for you to feel freedom and love. As much as I desire for you to feel acceptance, love, and freedom, I cannot feel those feelings for you. My survival depends on your decision to trust me with protecting you and keeping you safe. By the way, little Marvin, did I mention that I have 6 adorable kids? Well, 2 of them are grown, but I guess you never stopped being a kid to your parents. I need you to trust me because I cannot continue to prove my loyalty to you for other people's mistakes and simultaneously love the woman who loved me at the time when I didn't love you or me. One thing is for certain, little Marvin. The both of us cannot and will not act in the role of an adult. You have been robbed of so much time of being a child, so you go ahead and be one. Me, on the other hand, I've spent too much time being a child, so I'll go ahead and be the adult. Sounds fair? Little Marvin, are you listening? This is very important for the both of us. We need to be on the same page. There will be times when people fail you. That's because they are people. There will be times when our plans fall through the crack, because plans are based around the future and no man controls that. There will be times when people close to us leave. That's because they added all they could to our life and we added all we could to theirs. There will be times when people come into our lives for different reasons, but we will always be consistent by treating them with love. Finally, there will be times when you feel all alone, but those are the times our Heavenly Father wants to spend with us. I hope this message speaks to you. It spoke to me, and for the first time ever in my life, I was actually able to talk to the 6-year-old Kame and really evaluate where I'm at today and where I've come from. Marvin James will be on the Miss Kame show soon in season 2. You will all have an opportunity to hear his story directly from him. I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your week. Have an amazing weekend. Be safe. Spread love and compassion around the world. This is Miss Kame from the Miss Kame show. Good night.